Something I actually like about this list, there are 4 games on this list that are budget titles.
That's true.
Because Bastion and Outland are both like arcade games. Like you can get Bastion for $10. I mean, you get Bastion for $15 and Outland for $10. Terraria is $10 by default, but you can often get it for $2.50
from fucking Valve.
And Minecraft's like $20.
Yeah, a good chunk of our games are budget games, which means that like for people who it's just like they're these fun little games that you can play on the side while you're playing these AAA titles, and it's. I kind of like that. I like how this year there seems to have been like a lot more indie games that have stood out above the AAA titles.
I mean, this year's like Summer of Arcade for Xbox had 3 titles out of 5 that just kind of blew my mind.
Yeah,
like I loved them. I loved Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet and From Dust and Bastion. They were incredible games. One of them was just a silly sequel to something everyone had already played, and the other one was Fruit Ninja. So whatever, but. Just the fact that there's a lot of games coming out all the time for low prices, and a good indication of this was the Tim Schafer series.
Oh yeah.
Like they made Stacking, and they made Costume Quest, and they made Trenched, and it's like I love this approach. Yeah, keep making budget titles that are like way out there and different from all the stuff that's out there, because this their previous approach of making games like Psychonauts, and Brutal Legend, and putting them out for full price, trying to make these silly ideas into full-scale games, it's just not like it's not viable on a market side, and I want to see, but I don't want them to stop. So I'd like to see creative companies make smaller scale games so that they can still happen.
It's like if you can blend PopCap with good game design.
And the cool thing is that if they nail it, they really nail it, then you will just keep playing it, even if it is kind of small. Like Bastion, I beat it twice in a week.
And the funny part is,
I immediately just jumped head first to it. And I've never done that since like the original BioShock.
Yeah, and I think the funniest part is the best example of like you always hear when it goes like, well, why don't you make more smaller games that are less of a budget? And they go, well, because you don't make as much money that way. And like the best way to look at that is always Minecraft. You always go back to Minecraft for that shit where it's like, this is a fucking $20 game. This motherfucker's probably more rich than fucking EA and shit. So EA can't just like look and go, well, that's too much. It's like, it's too cheaply made. We don't want to do that because we don't make as much profit in it.
And you definitely have certain games that don't really take the hint. Where you have like Rayman Origins and
stop.
And also, I'd say like Sonic Generations. I think these are both games that would have been best done as budget titles.
Yeah. But you know what? Sonic, no, because they did that as a budget title when they did that Sonic, the new Sonic they did for the
Sonic 4.
Yeah, Sonic 4.
They're making another one of those.
Yeah, but you remember they started doing those like little budget titles. They're fucking awful as shit.
They haven't stopped either.
I know, but they're horrible. So I'm just saying, like some companies can't do it.
I'm not even talking about the budget of the game necessarily. I'm actually talking about the price point.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot to be said about how much money you can make when you make a low price game. Where there's so many games that go out like, oh yeah, everyone will buy this for $60, no problem. It's like, do you know how many people bought Deadly Premonition because it was $20 retail? That lunatic, bizarre, like hilarious comedy horror game from Japan or whatever the hell.
But you know what? Even a good example is like Steam sales. Look how many fucking like
they slash stuff down to like 30% of its original price.
Even when you look on the internet, every time like people will always say like, I end up leaving the Steam sale with 50 fucking new games.
That's what I did.
And like it's just ridiculous. Like
I seriously bought probably more than 50 games during the sale. A lot of them are bundles. And
how much money is this making for people? I just want to see like the numbers for that. Like how much money is Steam making off this, and the company's making off these Steam sales?
Like I'm so hesitant to buy stuff for full price anymore because I don't feel like I'm getting what I don't feel like I'm getting some experience adequate.
What you just said right there is the reason I don't go to movies anymore. Because I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth of movies, and I don't want fucking I don't like that. And that's why I love Steam sales because like I spent $2 on a game, I hate it. Whatever is fucking $2.
Yeah, that's what happened to me with like the terrible flight control game. I'm like, this is the worst thing. This is like a parking simulator. I'm furious. Okay, oh wait, I paid $1. Okay, whatever, I'm done.